I think I finally found my new favorite coding model, the one that might replace the Sonnet 3.7. Gentlemen, let's welcome the Deepseek version 3.1, the brand new improved version from the Deepseek family, just dropped yesterday. Today, I'm botting to a real test as a coding assistant, both for front-end and back-end development, and I'm showing you the real results. And the best part, I'm doing all of this without paying a single cent. Yes, I found a way to run this model for free without sacrificing the speed. I'm excited to share this with you in the next few minutes. So, can the Deepseek version 3.1 really replace the Sonnet 3.7? Let's find out. The Deepseek version 3.1 is here, and it seems to come with an incredible improvement. This is the blog that I found from the Deepseek AI itself talking about this new model. It comes with new architect that improve reasoning capability across complex tasks. They found out this new architect can improve the multi-step reasoning by 43% compared to the previous version. It enhanced the mathematics and code generation and scientific analysis, and it extended the context window. How much you think? It's actually right now 1 million tokens, which is on the same bar of the Gemini models. That will make it very good for document and conversation, and it can process much larger code bases. Right now it supports more than 100 languages in almost near native proficiency, and it reduced hallucination by 38% compared to the previous model, which I don't know why they call it version 3.1, not version 3.5. If all this improvement, which is honestly very good, right now it's 560 billion parameter and 1 million tokens context window, and it's optimized inference for faster response time. So they know their model is slightly slower than the average model that we use. The Deepseek version 3 is focusing on 5 different improvements: software development like code generation, debugging and refactoring code, scientific researching like assisting and analyzing research papers, educational like personal tutoring across a lot of subjects, it seems, content creation, which seems very interesting, high quality multilingual content generation, which I might use it sometimes for my YouTube, and business intelligence, basically complex data analysis and report generation, and use it to generate a certain format for your business. And according to the benchmark that's provided by the Deepseek team, that the Deepseek version 3.1 is slightly better than the 3.7 Sonnet model, but not the thinking mode. Light gray is the 3.7 Sonnet, darker gray GPT 4.5, and we have here also the light blue is Queen Max, and we finally have the dark blue, which is this one, is the Deepseek version 3. As you can see here, you can see in live code bench, it's better than both the GPT 4.5 and the Sonnet 3.7, and of course the Queen Max, and also in AIME, which also about coding, it's far better. In mathematics, slightly better, but not like with a big number. In GPQA, it's behind the GPT 4.5, which in the same level almost on the Sonnet 3.7. Same thing for the MMLU Pro. And I know that a lot of people doesn't trust benchmark, including me, but if you want to get a real good analysis, go ahead to artificial analysis websites. This website is completely trusted. Right now, the version 3.1 from the Deepseek is just behind the QWQ32B and the Deepseek R1, and it's better than the 3.7 in terms of artificial analysis intelligent index. But we don't care about this kind of stuff because we are developers. We want to look to coding. And the encoding analysis, the Deepseek version 3.1 is just in the middle between 3.7 Sonnet normal LLM and behind the thinking mode of the 3.7. So basically, this is a Sonnet level model without the thinking capability. And of course, it's extremely cheap. We know that the Deepseek model are always cheap but slightly slow. And here is the intelligent first prices, the Deepseek version 3, which is released yesterday basically. is over here in term of rank. And you can see here, this is the Sonnet 3.7 is below it, and it's much pricier in the Deepseek version 3. And as you can see here, the O1 is sitting on a tier in its own for the pricing, which is insane. But I think that's enough talking about the benchmark of the model. Let's see this model in action. Actually, you can use this model for completely free. All you need is an account in OpenRouter. The same company that provides the Deepseek R1 for free is running the Deepseek version 3.1 for free also. And you can completely use it as much as you can. As you can see here, the context length is 131, max input and output. That's not bad. It's for free. Latency is not that great, and the throughput is also not that great, but it's for free. It's gonna be slightly slower than the normal models like the Sonnet 3.7, but this is a $0 cost. So go ahead to your Visual Studio Code, select your preferred coding assistant. Mine is raw code. Go ahead to the settings, create a new profile for the Deepseek version 3. I got my API key over here and selected the Deepseek chat version 3 0324, and the tag is for free, and hit done. And right now at coding, I can use it. The version 3.1 of the Deepseek can't read images or scan it and create a code from it. This is a trick from one of my many tricks that I have in my upcoming ebook about how to code using AI. It will be launched in the coming months, and I'm almost done with it. Have a lot of stuff inside it, like picking the best AI coding assistant, talking about the evolution of models and how it started, what is the limits, what is the best prompt techniques to use with AI coding assistant, and real life examples of stuff that I have seen in my experience. This book will be coming the next month for a very small price. And also, I'm gonna share with you this book for free. For every week, I will pick one from my comments and give it one book for free. So back to our coding. I here have this UI image, which basically this, I found it on a website that I like the UI of it. It's basically this image. It's have this login, very simple, clean, and I love it. And I told it here, create a detailed prompt that can accurately describe the given UI image design, include layout, color scheme, typography, spacing, and interactive elements. The prompt should be clear and precise enough to generate high quality code when provided to an AI coding assistant. This will provide us with a prompt that will generate the image that I just showed you. Let's hit run. I'm using the Gemini 2 Pro experiment model, and it's for free. And as you can see here, this is a detailed prompt as it can be from the Gemini model. And I copied the prompt and modified it slightly. Instead of HTML, I said component, and I don't want to use HTML. This is a next project, and I told it also use Tailwind for CSS, and let's hit enter, and I hope it doesn't go wrong. Okay, that's faster than I'm usually used to from the Deepseek model. Let's give it more space. Okay, right now it's done. Let's hit save, and the login page is created, and I think it's done. So this is the result that I got. It's not that bad. The front end of it is actually extremely clean, and I like it. But it's not the thing that I wanted to create, actually. It's not. This is the original image that I wanted to create. As you can see here, there is huge difference, but it tried to make it similar as much as it can be. For example, the color is almost the same. It's stuck with the same name, Nova Ava, which an actual website. I love the front end design of it, actually. It's not that bad, but it's not what I wanted. And it's not the problem of the Deepseek version 3. It's the problem of Gemini model. But for me, I'm happy with it. I have another prompt that will generate a much larger multiple components or one page. It's basically the dashboard page. And here it's very detailed about the stuff that I wanted to be that inside the page, like header, sidebar, notes, and what kind of color and where it should be used. And I will hit enter one more. This is the result of the one large prompt that I just sent to the Deepseek version 3. And I have to be honest, the speed of this model is really good compared to the last version. Last version was extremely slow compared to this one. And I don't know. I feel like I'm using the 3.5 of Sonnet model. This is how I feel so far. It went to analyzing mode like the Sonnet you do. First, it modified an already an existing component, and I told it no. I wanted to create everything in a new component inside a new folder for Portal, and I went ahead created a new completely folder for Portal, and it put inside it a new folder called components, and I started to create every single component inside a new file, like one for sidebar, one for header, then it project table, then finally created inside the main folder, Portal 1, a new page, and put everything inside it. This is what the experience that I used to have with the Sonnet 3.5. And before we move on to backend test, I did one more front end page, and honestly, this model is really good at getting the front end design. Look at this. Look at this detail. The prompt wasn't even that long. All I described is just give me something like decent. And as you can see here, this hover effect is so clean. There is something people that doesn't understand from my point of view. I have been using models for coding since December 2022, which is GPT 3.5. Like, this is like I am old school compared to the current models right now. I have seen model giving us worst designs, worst code, and we will be happy because it was what is available for us. And we had to pay money, believe it or not. Right now, we can use models for completely free, and it will give us quality of code that will take time to create. And right now, you can just do it in few couple of minutes, an entire page, an entire UI, modify it on a fly, change anything that you want for free. This is why I'm slightly struggling to understand the amount of improvement that we reach right now. I'm one of the few people I think that never like the API backend integration of Next.js and how it's handled and the lack of customization and flexibility of it. It's one approach and you have to follow it. And if you have to modify it, you have to write a lot of code for it. So I always used Express.js for my backend. Express.js is extremely light and it's extremely flexible. You can do anything that you want with it. So I find myself with every backend Next.js project that is slightly gonna be larger than the expected. I use the Next.js as a custom server running alongside Next.js. So when I always ask any large language model, for example, the Sonnet 3.5 or the 3.7, the GPT-4o, the Gemini models, I always get the wrong result when I ask create a custom Express server that's replacing the Next.js API routes and use middleware and routing, create a simple API and make it running alongside Next.js. Deepseek version 3.1 actually managed to create it. And all I had to ask is give it this prompt and it started to create a simple server at the beginning. And for some reason, it started to use the Gemini model and I told it I don't want any large language model integration. And it told me yes, rewrote it again. And then it created a static get API in the void just to testing the server if it's working or not. Then it went ahead modifying Next configuration, and I don't know why is the experiment custom server is true because I can't find it and it's warning inside the terminal. And also modified the package JSON also. When I'm running the dev server, it's pointing out to the server.js, which is the server for Express, and install the body parser, cursor, the Express, of course, automatically using raw code. This is really good start for Deepseek for me. I feel like after this video, I'm gonna keep using this model as my new standard instead of the 3.5 or the 3.7 from Sonnet. I also did one more thing that I didn't mention. I enable the enhancement when you go to the mode edit and scroll down to coding mode, and you can see here API configuration for enhanced prompt. I use the Deepseek also 3.1. And right now I want to enhance this prompt. As you can see here, it's improved the entire prompt and it did give it a very clean structure for what it should look like. This is really good. And I will hit run. Remember, all what we are doing right now, we're paying $0 for it. This is insane. And this is the result that I got new folder completely, server, and inside a new folder called controllers, and inside the controllers folder, the Auth controller with it, entire logic. And just quick scan for the entire thing. It seems like it's very good also. And I can see here it's using bcrypt, GWT, JSON Web Token, used Prisma client, even I don't have it yet. And it created a new function called validate credentials. This will basically validate the email, if it's a real email, not just bunch of text, and password regex, basically not validating certain stuff in password. It created a requirement, password must be at least 8 character with uppercase, lowercase, number, and special character. That is a very good requirement. And then it created a register functionality, validating the credential, and check if the user is already registered or not. And if it's registered, it will throw an error. Then hash the password using the bcrypt, then register the new user, and return the token in GWT, which is over here, and return just the token. Also, the login is really good. Searching for email if the user is not existing, invalid credential, then password matching, and if it's wrong, invalid credentials once more, and finally, if everything is correct, it will basically return a token and response with the token at the end. If anything went wrong, it will throw an error. So I will stop testing this model because I feel like it's overqualified to success. And I am pretty sure right now this model can replace the Sonnet 3.5 for me. I don't know what about you, but for me, as someone who have been using a lot of large language model for over multiple years right now, this model is really good. And the speed of it is not slow. Somehow they provide the free version with an extreme speed, and you don't have to pay money. This is great for people that can't afford paying for models like the Sonnet 3.5 or the GPT-4o. And also, it's not blocked. Anyone can use this model. So go ahead and test it. And I did give you the setup. I'm using raw code with this setup. You can use Klein also. It's really great. I keep it around for some reason, even I don't use it anymore. So that's it for today's video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video if you like what I have shown you. And also, thank you for watching this video and see you on the coming one.